That is me at Sunday Get Real. Get Real Sunday check-in. This is part 2 of my check-in. The other one wasn't a check-in. I was talking about my diet, and I was really quiet because my kids were sleeping. So maybe you can't even hear it. But I make videos about it, and I don't always post them. So I started changing my diet in 3rd or 4th grade when my teacher, I was the same teacher for both years, I can't remember, Mr. Ross, I can't remember which year it was. He was talking about all the toxins from our environment going to the liver. So if you're eating liver for dinner from a cow, you're getting those toxins. And it's kind of like collecting, draining it from your body and being stored there. And I thought, I went home, I hated liver and onions. And so Mom would make it, and I would sit at the kitchen table for hours until I ate every last bit of that. And until when I said that, my mom stopped making me eat it. So that, and everything back then, it was like you eat everything or you don't leave the table. And you get to the point where you're like, I gotta go to school, I gotta get up, I gotta go to the bathroom, so you better eat. You just shove it down, hold your nose, do whatever it takes when your mom is sat there glaring at you the whole time. And if it was something good, like chicken, homemade fried chicken or something, they'd give you like a wing or thigh, and that's it. And they're just like mostly bone. Like you guys get the breast and the leg. That like they should have made for 4 people. They probably should have made 2 chickens or like cut the breasts in half. The parents get the whole breast. My brother got both legs. And I'd get like 1 piece, and I'm like, can I have some more? I'm like, no. And because like if my brother got 2 legs and a thigh, and my parents got 2 breasts, and then all that's left is like, then my parents would get like 2 wings, and all it'd be left would be like 1 thigh. So it was always like that. And they kept telling me I was fat, so I'd be like hungry all the time, and I'd be eating paper. I ate so much paper and other items around my room when I was a kid. I was so hungry, I thought I was gonna die. And they said that I was so fat, and they restricted me from eating. But then if it's something like liver and onions or some kind of big Mexican beans I didn't like, the bean casserole Mom would make, I hated it. And beans don't do well with my system, big time. And you couldn't leave the table until you ate that. So that was, then it'd be a huge helping of that. If something good, you could barely eat it. Ribs or something with mostly bone, you could barely eat it. Spaghetti and meatballs was good back then. Garlic bread with that tastes nasty. I'm actually about apple flavored mineral water. I'm like, ew. I was at a grocery outlet. You gotta read labels. You gotta read the labels closely because the things that look like the regular item, and then you also have to read the expiration dates, which are not always. The Best Buy expiration dates are not always good. I ended up being told in the past 10 years from my uncle. I go, oh my god, I was such a fat kid. Oh my god. And I laughed because I try to turn, my life is so miserable in the past that I don't do this on purpose, but I realized I turn things into humor just to like stay out of depression. And I didn't realize that this is like coping mechanism. So I just started, I smiled my way through school, and then I realized, I think I was smiling my way through school because I hated being at home. So school was just like heaven compared to, in school, learning, taking tests, being corralled into the lunchroom. And like, my uncle said, oh my god, you are so skinny. Okay, his daughter was a size 0, and she was like 20 something, 30 something years old. She was like the 0, 0, 0 all the way up, and she was like, wouldn't eat. She always wanted to exercise. She came to visit and was like, oh my god, is there jazzercise? I gotta go to a class. I can't just sit here. She was like really obsessed with being a size 0. And then my uncle tells me, you're the skinniest child I have ever seen. I've ever remember seeing. And he's around a big city. Or he lives in a big city, and he travels with us to see his family in another big city on the East Coast. So he's seen a lot of people, lived in the neighborhood, his daughter's in school, and I was like, yeah, right. Like, I was obese. But it's like, the image, like, you look in the mirror, like, body dysmorphic. It's like your parents are telling you how fat and obese and ugly and nasty you are. and you're sitting here looking in the mirror saying, this is what fat, ugly, nasty is. And that's the definition. You look at yourself, and then someone later tells you that they never saw anyone, like your legs were too skinny. And then my aunt had the audacity. My mom's maintained her weight for a while, and then my aunt had that audacity to talk about how big me and my mom's thighs were and all this. And I don't think she was being rude. She's like, oh, you and your mom have muscular thighs, you're tennis playing thighs, and all this stuff. And I was just like, second grade, my thighs were and my hips were getting big, and I was like punching my legs because I was like, oh my god, like already by kindergarten, first grade, I was already supposedly fat. And I was wearing, like, when I was wearing a 5T, I was 5, or 6 or 7. It wasn't like I was 5 and I was wearing a size 12 girls, husky size. Like, I was wearing the appropriate size, if not smaller than appropriate size. And was abused and neglected and didn't ever talk to men really. And I started puberty when I was in first grade. I don't know if it had to do with anything with the hair grease my mom put in my hair, but I started puberty that I noticed in first grade. She was shaving my armpits that early. Second grade, other hairs I tried to pluck and shave, and then my hips got wider. And since I was already being told how fat I was, seeing my thighs and hips go outwards, I was just punching myself, and I was so mad. I would sit in the bathroom for hours doing that, and among other things, whatever I can do to my brain to numb the pain of my obesity. Now that I've had actually gained weight eating corn and eating out of food baskets and had been obese on an actual level, and people are like, there's no way, like I looked 40 pounds lighter than I was because I was working out 4 days a week in martial arts when I went over 223. People are like, yeah, right, you liar, you're not fat, you're not big. And I was pretty big, but I also am a compact and a muscular person, so if any fat, I'd have like a ton of muscle, and then fat would grow over it. So then you lose weight. Like the way I lost weight was getting a car accident, and then losing muscle mass, and then I lost all this weight, and it's not like my clothes got any smaller. It's not like I could have changed clothes. So I would still look in the mirror and say, oh yeah, obese person. But then when I lost weight, and then part of it being in weight loss groups where there's really, really lightweight old people, like they're hardly digesting, they have no teeth, they can't eat, they're maintaining their weight, and they're eating donuts and stuff before the meetings and still losing 2 pounds. And some old people, their guts are so coated, they don't absorb nutrients or even calories in there. Some of them, they start at a certain age to not be able to maintain that weight, besides medications and health, like cancers and stuff they may not even know they have. That's like sucking every ounce of calories that they can get down. And if they have trouble using the bathroom or even trouble drinking fluids, then they're not gonna, like for me, if I couldn't go to the bathroom in a car accident, I would not drink fluids because I didn't want to wet myself and lay in it, and I was literally about to order a bedpan, but I couldn't afford it, so I was like looking online for something, because I was like paralyzed and I couldn't walk. So I understand. But then I lost weight, and you're so skinny. Oh, skinny people would say, oh, you would know. You wouldn't know about somebody that's 160. So I was like, honey, I was that weight before. What I was home was eating on food boxes, stuff that I knew I couldn't tolerate. But when you went in, they only said, do you eat pork or not? Like they didn't say, can you eat wheat or corn, or are you vegetarian? Like they just said, like if you go to the food pantry and say I'm like vegan, raw food, they're not gonna let you get like supposedly they're supposed to, but they're not gonna say, okay, skip the whole place and only get some apples, oranges, and lettuce. Like you're gonna have the same limit. They're gonna say you have the same limit as everyone else. You're gonna walk out with a bag like this instead of a whole grocery cart. Um, and most people would fight over those vegetables, but then if that's all you could eat because of food allergies, then you're kind of starved. Like the other people could eat the pastas and the dairies and the eggs and the vegetables, but they want to covet the vegetables because those are expensive in the stores compared to like rice and stuff. But rice is expensive too. What am I talking about? Everything's expensive. So this is going to be part two. It's going to be my self-image as a left-hander and as a isolated child who was raised by abusive, toxic people. When I played, there's a TV in the living room, or the living room was formal, like super formal, like velvet couch, and it was like you're not allowed in there. The family room had a big TV, and the basement had a TV, and those had cables. So from a young age, we had the little click box that click, 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 and there was a few channels. And then before that, the antenna only had 3 channels: PBS, CBS, and sometimes Channel 12. I think that was ABC or something. Maybe you got NBC too. Sometimes I don't know. I remember PBS and Channel 11, which was CBS. I remember 2 channels, 8 and 11 would come in every day, and the other ones, one of those, 8 and 11. So 11 would come out of Alpena, Michigan, and 12 would come out of Flint, and that was like 2 hours away. So that didn't. Alpena is an hour away, so you didn't always get the down south ones. We would get 2 channels, and then we got that clicker box. We had that old-fashioned Nickelodeon and the USA Cartoon Express. So I just either go in the basement or there. And then later on, when cable just came through a wire, we had the TV in my mom's room because my dad hardly was at home, so it's like my mom's room. And there's a treadmill in there, but it kept getting covered with books, so that I would sit in the bed and watch TV. Seriously, minutes. All weekend last year, those old black and white shows, Leave It to Beaver and all that. And I didn't have any guys in my school like me, and a couple times some guys liked me, but I thought they were weird. But then when you're taught to not like yourself, you think that when someone likes you, there's something wrong with them. So I got a couple abusive boyfriends or flings from out of my small town. One guy was a pedophile. They're all like, one guy, okay, one maybe not a pedophile, even though he was still 18, but the other 2 were definitely pedophiles. One was this guy named Chris who was the biggest jerk and the biggest player. And my mom's like, oh, I remember that guy from when he was little. He used to hang out with this group that would go on the roller rink. And then the other guy that was from Detroit, he was shady. He just stopped talking to me. And I found out that guy's name, Sean. He told me one time we were having a makeout session and it led to more than that. And he got a phone call there. We were at someone else's house, like their trailer. And this girl's like, you got me pregnant. And this chick, they had like 5 or 6 kids. And I saw in obituaries recently that they owned a house in my old town. They came out from the city, but his mom lived up there. And they had all these kids, and I was looking at the ages, and I was like, oh my god, that phone call was probably real. But this guy basically was probably 2-timing us, at least 2-timing us, and pretty much dumped me and stopped talking to me, and his brother would answer the phone and be like, he's not here, and I was like, is he in jail or what? But I know that it was when I went to college, I know that they were screaming, like, oh, it was obvious, because he never called back. And so for a while I thought maybe he was in jail, but I'm pretty sure he was like living with his other girlfriend. And like listening to red flags when you're dating or having phone calls, like I had so like because I was beaten by my mom all the time and everyone else was so rude. You don't have any value over your body, so when you're like in someone's sister's uncle, somebody's bed, and somebody gets a phone call that says, you got me pregnant, it's your baby. Like now, I'm having like an ounce of courage and self-esteem. I'd be like, slap, like you're not allowed to hit people. You'd be like, I'm out of here, like you're a player. I'm out of here. Like like now I would be like now the only problem is like wouldn't ever have any romance, so I might be like, oh well, they can deal with that later. Let's just hang out and have some fun. Like now I may be so desperate that I may like I may never find myself in a situation where I was alone with a man. Like I might be like that happened to me before. It's like there was red flags and it's like lies, and I was just like whatever. Like at the time I prayed about everything and everything was cool with my prayer and meditation, but then kind of still got screwed over and like I don't know. So it's like things happen for a reason, experiences happen for a reason, and you learn from them, and then you learn that you're being played again. And then there was this guy named Denny from down south also, and he was like kind of like a pedophile, and he like again was like I got sexually assaulted from him, and it was horrible. And I raised this before, and he took my money and said he was taking some other chick to the coast, to a different lake in Michigan. And the next day, I saw him after that with cold sores, and I was like, I had like a germaphobe, and I was like, nope. Like, I don't know. That guy was such a jerk. And so the reason I'm saying this is like people will people like that will know how to say something to like this guy was not nice. They will say just enough to like make you think that you guys can hang and be friends or friends with benefits or whatever, like you're not really in a relationship. And they're like kind of rude. Like like they don't bring you anything. Like they wouldn't ever give you a card for your birthday or anything. They wouldn't even call you. Like this guy went to Florida or something for like months, and he never called. Like back then, you do like had long distance. You'd call people on the weekends or after 9 or whatever, and at least like me and my friend would go to Florida, and she'd call and she'd like, pick up this huge inner city accent when she was down there. She might have been on a base with her dad, but she would like even my friends would go out of town and they would still call and check in and be like, oh yeah, I just want to say hi, blah blah. Like, I miss those days where you had to like plan and you like talk to people and you were like a kid. So like I'm gonna start crying. Like you were like a kid and you had to get permission from your parents or from your auntie or from your dad who you don't live with. You'd be like, oh, I really would like to call my best friends, or I'll just talk for 5-10 minutes, and you would have to go pick up either a tick, tick, tick dial phone or a push button phone, and let's be like, oh hey, how's it going? And I just miss like those people. None of those people like me anymore, and it's just like thinking back on it, it's like those experiences you felt like community, you felt like family, you felt like you really had a friend. If they're gone for summer break at their dad's and they can at least call once or twice for a couple of minutes just to check in to see how you're doing and can't wait to when are you coming back? We gotta get together. Like you're like 14, you're like a kid in the 90s, and you would have guys call even if I was believing that like I was a teenager and I was determined to be beautiful and do my hair and put makeup on. And I was determined to not to fight being always called fat, nappy, black, and ugly. And I was like a fighter. I was like, I refuse. I'm gonna be a model, a short one, and I never did. And but yeah, that like guys didn't like me anyway. And in college, guys didn't like me, and none of the guys in college liked me. And I was like 50,000 students, and a couple guys hung out with me, but they didn't really like me. And then I realized in 2016, as I got out of toxic people, that when you're around toxic people, you banter with them, if you think that you're obligated to stay with these people, you banter with them in order to survive. You walk on eggshells to keep from getting shot and keep from getting your teeth punched out. And have near misses with guns and being punched and hurt and kicked and beaten and whipped. Like, you learn how to defend yourself by bantering with a toxic person, and you also pick up their toxicity, and you also absorb how much they hate you and how much they don't value your life. And so I went through my 12 steps and realized that we talked about other people who did you harm, or who you did harm, or who you need to apologize to. And so I had to apologize to everybody, not just because I drank back in the day and would get goofy drunk, but I was selfish. Not just alcoholism selfish, but learning from narcissist selfishness. Um, I used to always volunteer. People talk about in my meetings volunteering and learning how to give instead of being so selfish. Like, even in those days, because I had been drinking from single digit age, like 9, 8, 9. Like, I was always volunteering in scouts, doing this stuff, and raising money, doing those little things where you gotta like run around a parking lot and pledge your neighbors, pledge all this money, going door to door, doing all this stuff, volunteering at the Jerry Lewis telethon all night and all this stuff. Um, People were showing my mom for tennis. She was picking up bottles on cans from the football games, and she's asked the girls to help. And like, no way. So, it's embarrassing. Your friends are there, and I learned like everyone's embarrassed of their mom. My mom beat me, but they're embarrassed of my mom in high school. Like, I'm gonna promise myself not to be embarrassed of my mom. I went down there and picked up 30 cans, and she brought in a lot of money. It's always still 10 cents back there in Michigan. And I was like, I pick out of bottles all the time. It's free money. Or pick out of trash cans for bottles. Not that sanitary, but hey, she was doing it for the team to get supplies and DVD or VHS tapes and balls and stuff for the team, and for helping us go out. Sometimes they pay like $5 a meal, take the kids to McDonald's. Like, I think the school district, but back then school paid for stuff. I don't know if she had to pay it or if the school paid it because there were so many hours from home, from their homeschool. But then I ended up marrying one of the two guys that I dated that weren't in college. One was younger than me, dumped me, and one was older than me, and he was just a player too. And he ended up homeless, so it was like he probably thought, stay with this chick or live out in the street again. And I think he just stayed with me just to stay out of the street. But then we ended up homeless together, but I still had access to money. And that's where my kids came from. And then this guy didn't really like me and just made fun of me. I was never good enough, and he was always trying to cheat on me and brag about women flirting with him. And when my kid's son was in agony to try to get him to come home, I was thinking I had to go. He had the car. I was thinking I had to go to the hospital or something. And if I had been alone and I didn't have a car or something, I would just right now call 911. Like, I'd be like, this is my baby, and my kid was in agony, and I was like, he's like, I'm trying to get it on with some strippers at this party, and you're like, don't call me again. We were about to get busy. Like, so I'm at home with my two babies. No, he has my car, which is my car, not his car, has my money. And he had cut the phone off after that, I think. So I didn't have any phone. Even my friends, like, or she wasn't really my friend, my neighbor's like, dude, he shut off your phone. And that might have been when I got another phone. But he shut off the phone, and he had a home phone and he had a cell phone. And he shut off the home phone and he took the cell phone with him, so he'd be partying all weekend with the phone, and I wouldn't have any outside world. My neighbors I had an emergency flood, and I went door to door and tried to get the landlord's phone number. Nobody could talk to me English except for one kid, and so it wasn't easy. Everyone's Cambodian, so it wasn't easy to. My neighbor was like, "Dude, if you have an emergency or one of your kids falls or something, you're gonna need a phone to call 911 or get help. You're gonna need a phone. Like you never know. Like especially if you have kids in the house, like you need." So we got the phone. It took a while to come in the mail, and then soon after that, I left. When I shut the phone off, I left to a shelter. Um, but a lot of things I did, you have to do stuff for yourself. But some of the things that got the ball rolling was my children needed safe space, and I'm the one who signs papers and had the driver's license, so I had to be the one to drive somewhere, make a phone call, drive somewhere, and sign papers to get to a better place. And these places are slum ghettos, dangerous places, and it is what it is. It's the world. Um, my son always wanted me to find another partner, husband, and people don't like me, so I was gonna make this video, like, um, one of the long videos I had, I was like in my pajamas, I might be able to find it, or I was gonna call it unsexy. Um, when I'm at home, I dress different than I do in public, because in public I have a dress code, it's either button up black pants, certain type of shoes, and black pants, black shoes, black shirt, and or a different job I have to wear t-shirts, and so I don't look that good in all black. Like sometimes you can make it look professional, but being black, I feel already like a Grim Reaper walking around like a black shadow. It's not a very joyful color for me to wear. I like oranges and bright colors, blues, and so I have to walk around outside all the time, going from job to job, dressed in my clothes, and I spent 14 years. I was trying to get separated from my ex before I left the final time, but there was nowhere to go, and I had no money, and no relatives would help. They were all rich. Like, back then, I could have gotten a small apartment for $430 a month, utilities paid, a rooming house or something. I could have. And I was working, so I would have just had to put the kids to school and work some more. I had my bachelor's degree, and it turned out the way it turned out. It did. Someone actually invited me to rooming house, but then I was like, I was gonna go with the state and all these demands and rules, and so I've been had been trying to separate from my ex before July of 2004. It was I assume it was I know it was July something, like maybe July 14th, something like that. 2004, and that was like final leaving, and I had only one guy like me, and this guy had a girlfriend, and I met him in my meetings, and he said he was cute, that I was cute, and that he wanted to hang out, and that he just had to wait and break up with his girlfriend, and I was just like, whatever. Like, I was like, I'm not ever going to answer a phone call from you. I mean, at least he's told me that he was not single, but um, I'm making my book where the character's name is Pika. Pika is a woman, which is like me, and it's a love story, and the guy is named Mark, so that's that guy's name, I think. Oh, and I'm making this novel love story, fiction love story, and I'm using that guy's name because in over 14 years, he's the only person that said they liked me, and it's so sad. Like, like I don't even have friends. Like, there's some people I talk to at work, but it's only like at work. It's not like we hang out or anything else. And if you talk to these people outside of work, it's about work. Um, this white lady, she had a lot of wrinkles, this blonde hair, blue eye. She told me, no man will ever like you in this country because you're black. She said, you need to go, if you're going to stay in this country to find somebody, you got to go to Hawaii or She said I had to go to Hawaii. And I'm like, I read somewhere online, they're like, oh yeah, they're not gonna like you, black women, you should go to Puerto Rico. This black guy from Ethiopia comes up to me. He's a male. My brother always had dates, but I'm a black female. They treat you different. You can't get jobs. You can't get paid the same. If you do get a job and then you can't get housing. It's a nightmare. Just because you're a black female. And this guy came up to me and said that women were trying to marry him, get with him. He's black American now, but he's Ethiopian, African American. All these women, from the time he got off the plane, are trying to get at him. You should go to Sweden. Well, I was like, yeah, I should. Like, but it's like, I just like was born this way. Like I was born black and mixed. Because I'm also mixed. My mom and dad are also mixed, and you just have to like know that consciously and subconsciously people don't like me just because of my skin color. Like I'm not given a chance, and at dating, at housing, at jobs, and even in going to doctors. And even I know Middle Eastern people also, and other blacks, they're turned away, they're kicked out of appliance stores, not able to go through lines at grocery stores, and when they're having life-threatening emergencies in the hospital, they're being turned away. So I know it's not just like poor me, and a lot of people tell me that I'm lying, but when my patients tell me the same thing I'm telling you, based on personal experience of their own relatives, even if they're considered white because they're from Northern Africa or is it Middle East, they're still telling me. And these people have big families. They're coming in here. Dressed up. They got money in their pocket. They want to buy it. They do anything for the family. They're working hard, earning money, saving up, not wanting to use interest. They're going to pay you cash. They're not trying to come in and just browse. They want to buy something. They know that they have the money in their pocket. They're going to buy this. Thing costs $2,000. They're going to buy it. They're not going to try to swindle you. Like, everyone's an individual also. So I signed up for Match.com yesterday, and I didn't realize you had to pay. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm changing the subject because it's too depressing. I'm going to log in, and then I'm not going to use this anymore. I considered getting a gift card and just doing 6 months, but I don't think that it's 1 yes rating. You're their type. No, bruh. So I can't do anything like this. This is useless because it's like 45 people supposedly looked at this and only one person thought I was okay. Like that is like really bad. That's like 5% or no. Like they still have ads. They should not. They should not charge you everything. You can't see anything. So the reason I did this is because The reason I did this is because during prayer and meditation in 2014 or 2015, like exactly a year after a car accident, I felt like God was like, sign up for his online dating because you just do it. And I didn't do it until yesterday, and then I did it before, and then I shut it off because I was distracting me from studying, and then I got viruses on my computer, so I was really freaked out about it. Um, so this is the unsexy, non-dating person. I gotta go. I gotta do work for an hour before I get ready to go to work. Um, I I think for 14 years, it's just been like, you know, when you got legal separation, custody, got legal divorce, I've been available, and I did Plenty of Fish before. I didn't have any interest. Nobody was interested in me, except for one guy. And I promised to go out with him, even though like I didn't like talking to him. And then he ended up getting married, but all his Facebook was all women, except for like his brother. It was like I was like, "Wait, this guy is just getting around." But his talking was really crazy, but he was like family oriented, and he was from out of state, not too far from here. I was like not going to church, or my kids stopped going to church, and we got booted out by the youth pastor for being too intelligent. And ended up um, this guy ended up, I think, getting married with somebody who was that he met on there. I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna sign up for OkCupid. I'm gonna do it. So this is an experiment. I read a couple experiments of some people that did these dating things for 24 hours just to see what it's like. And I saw someone I know. I was like, stop searching. I saw somebody I know. I was like, oh god, I'm gonna puke because this person. I was like, why did I have to use my zip code? This town has a lot of zip codes. Why do I have to be stuck in this one? I'm gonna sign up. This is live. Live in action. What is this? Can I skip this question? I had a couple of guys interested in me on the Plenty of Fish. This was years ago, and one was a short Jewish guy. The other was Muslim. And I just got distracted and didn't um, study for one of my tests, and then I had to remediate it. And wait, did I click the right things? I can't tell what this is. Only show me straight men. I'm just gonna put the same picture I put on the other thing. I think I'm like playing with fire here. This is stupid. Playing with fire, this experiment, guys. Which picture did I put on the other side? This is like the most embarrassing thing. When you're like one of few blacks that lives in your area and you put yourself up on this site and you're so recognizable. So we watched a couple times Mall Cop, and the daughter trying to get this guy on a date dating, and he ends up meeting somebody. I hate this picture. I don't really like this picture. Like, oh wait. Can I can I do something with this picture? This is so embarrassing, guys. About introduce yourself. This is how would your best friend describe you? I don't have a best friend. Alright. Carefree aren't intense. I'm gonna throw up. Alright. Should we revert it someone of your same skin color? This sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Choose a romantic activity. I'm hungry. What sounds most appealing? Sci-fi convention, political music festival, New Year's event, Times Square, say convention. Can I skip this? Alright. I was like, cover this. I was like, oh, this is stupid. Purchase a list. I'm gonna see the same guys, I swear, that I saw on the other page. Speaks English. I don't care what language they speak. Alright. Onboarding complete. Browse matches. Do I have to like... I changed the age. 68 to 53. Why are they doing that? If I see someone I know, I swear I'm shutting this off. If I keep searching, I know I'm gonna find somebody I know. You know what sucks about this? Thinking of how much I hate my own picture. And then thinking, oh my god, I'm old. Like, there's nothing I can do that. Like, I don't do plastic surgery. I don't do a lot of makeup. Some people don't even have a picture up here. The weirdest ones are when you have a guy with a girl, or the woman next to you. Like, okay, there's 3 in a row. A guy with a woman, and you're just like, are you even single? Like, seriously? Yeah, it's the first time I've seen a guy in a tiara. So this is like the worst, 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 worst thing that I've ever done in my life. I can't even scroll anymore, it froze. Everyone here looks so old. That's the thing about being old. Is there a thing about being black and looking at people of different race? They look like so. They look so old to me. I don't even know if this is real. I gotta be done. I've got to be done. So my friend from college, this guy, I don't ever talk to him. He, because I was beaten all the time, and beaten by my ex-husband, beaten by my mom, watching my mom get beat by my dad, I had, um, I had, this guy at a school was majority women, and no one wanted to work with him. We were both older, too. Nobody, oh, you can't see who likes you until you pay money. So all of this doesn't matter if they have ads. You have to pay for this. $10 a month. Huh. You can't do anything. So this was worthless to give someone my email address. Let's go off here and say, can you get messages free on OK Cupid? So I had most of his partners with this one guy in massage class first semester, and it was like I can't stand anybody, men, women, children, touching me. And then I went to martial arts for 4 years while I was going to redo my pre-med classes, and I ended up learning how to be touched by sparring. So being punched and thrown on the ground in Aikido, being kicked out and punched in the chest, kicked in the head, got me to where my kids could finally like hug me and for more than 10 seconds without me feeling like I'm gonna like crack my own teeth like going like this. Um, so that massage class took a step. It's not like intimate or romance, it's medical. So, but you're in a classroom and you have no clothes on and you're covered in sheets. And so there's like an old guy massaging every part of my body except my genitals. And I'm like, that really helped me to chill. And then I was also going to massage or acupuncture, Chinese acupuncture or Chinese massage, and a little bit of shiatsu. And I was like, oh my god, I feel the healing effects of touch. I was really into it, and I was able to be a patient for a while, and then stuff started getting expensive. So I stopped all that, kicking myself today, but um, and so um, I have, that was in 2009, so now that's almost 10 years ago, pretty much like 9.5 years ago, since that was September 09. And since then, this class is actually I took two, what did I take one? I was trying to take advanced massage, and then the other one, the spiritual, I don't know what it was. And I was trying to get a massage certificate, but all the classes kept getting canceled, so I was so mad. So I wanted to do healing power of touch. I could still do it as a physician if I was just acupuncture. But I guess you can do massages as acupuncturist. I forgot about that. Some people like left naturopathic and went to acupuncture. I was dual degree, and then I was gonna do triple degree, and then I ended up dual degree and then midwifery instead. It was just a big mess. I gotta go get something to eat. I'm so stressed out and tired right now. Alright, so this lady on bestcompany.com news things that you need to know about OkCupid before signing up. It's free in italics, so that's what it means. The most affordable. So you have to pay to see the list of people who like you. After you pay to supercharge your profile temporarily. Consumer fair complaints, hit or miss matches. cameras, so I used like for years. Customer service issues, Cupid members report their profiles are suddenly deleted. The same person owns OkCupid and Match.com. Want to drive more people to Match, which costs more. OkCupid auto renewal feature ticks members off. Tests might make you think twice before answering. Something that makes you want to disinfect yourself afterwards. That's funny. Too political or sexual in nature. Because their responses are accessible to anyone on the internet. Doesn't do a great job of keeping scammers out. There's a lot of things I've seen people trying to get money on investments. Quality of members has gone downhill. Fragile narcissists. The narcissist digging through a pile of manure trying to find a pony. Fragile narcissists married and cheating on their partners. This would be good to get the. It'd be good to get the. Comments. There we go. I have a really bad stomachache from drinking this lemonade that had the apple water and everything. I had to make everything from scratch. I'm gonna eat some nuts and oil and all this out, and I gotta do some work, so I'm just gonna do my normal morning routine. The reason I'm doing this now, so I was not doing this in 2015, I was trying to learn more about law of attraction, and then 2016 is when I started leaving abusers, and then they backlashed at me, and the stuff got real fast. The stuff hit the fan, and I saw more of the true monster come out of these people when they lost me as a daily punching bag. They want to try to reel me back in and break me down at the same time. Try to entice you with money or something, but still call you names and cuss at you and leave nasty messages. So when 2015 and led to 2016, all this stuff was not unknown. And I always, especially after 2016, summer 2016, I always thought to myself, you probably, like me, you probably know that that type of being treated poorly all your life probably has something to do with why you repel potential friends and partners, because you're still feeling like you don't deserve joy. So in 2016, I hung out, made friends with people. They're pretty toxic. They weren't like the worst people in the world, but it disappeared. And things, God, during meditation, it was just like you needed those experiences. You needed to have a little fun. You needed to get out of your shell and be part of the world and do it not always alone, and have a couple friends you can go to meetings with and talk to on the phone and text back and forth. So I ended up just having to work more and more and more and more. and I had a crush on the one guy, and then he was like kicked me to the curb, and then as soon as that happened, this person took my work at my job, and when she took my work, I ended up with a different job, and it was some circumstances that led me to meet some of the employees and or manager at that store, and so I just applied, and I applied for the wrong job, and now we're out. I was trying to fight to get that job because my original manager told me, "Oh, don't worry, we'll work your way up." And so I'd never worked my way up, and now everything's blown out of proportion. So I'm like, I'm not getting paid that much. I'm not gaining hours, and other people that are not even in my position, as I got a small promotion, are supposed to be working a lot more than me and getting a lot of hours. And so I'm like, screw this. I just found that out Thursday. I was really sad on Thursday, and I said, just it's if they're gonna give you part-time hours and then tell you to quit your other job, you're like, I'm gonna still have not enough hours. Like if they never offer you full time or minimum 36 hours, then you can't work. You can't quit another job. And if the pay is no better or if even worse, then it's not even smart to in the other job. So you just have to juggle and men that live with their parents or live with other men and they only have that job, they're available all the time. Oh yeah, I can cover some. Oh yeah, I can come in early. Oh yeah, this and this and this. Oh yeah, you can send me home early because I don't have to worry about paying rent or I only have to pay 1/3 of the rent. Like they're not as picky. That's not the word I'm looking for. But I I just wanted to say that this is an experiment. It really helps to make a video. This is abnormally long. Um, I am not. I'm having to pay now over $300 a month in insurance, and my deductible is more than my income, and insurance is going to be like 6,000, or I don't know if I do my math. Not 6,000. It's going to be a few thousand a year for the premium, and that's like 1/3 of my income, and my income is less than my rent. So, do the math there. So I'm like, God, if I had known I was going to pay over $300 a month in health insurance premiums, I should have years ago when I didn't have to pay that. I should have paid for a dating website or bought a Camaro or something. Like I should have done something like because now to keep from being disqualified, I'm gonna have to come up with the money. Even so, I'm also looking for another job, like not wanting to quit a job, but because I'm at a dead end in both of these jobs work for other people. I work for myself around the clock, but I'm at a dead end because now my expenses keep going, doubling, tripling, rent's doubling, tripling, and within 2 weeks time period, they try to double my rent, and I had to go to look for additional job when I'm not working between like midnight and 8 a.m. or midnight and 9 a.m. when you're supposed to sleep. That's when I'm gonna look for a job at that time. And the one job I've applied for like late night jobs doing janitorial or laundry in hotels, but I haven't applied for cook or janitor in the hospital. And so as a doctor, I'm gonna apply to work either on-call night shift or something like that at a hospital, because I can't afford to live. And it's like sometimes you wish like that if you wanted, say you wanted a Camaro, or you want to do a dating website for $20 a month, like you wish you got a little part-time job to pay for something you actually want. And now it's something mandatory like insurance because of government rules. You're forced to work on like a ninth job, or eighth job, in order to be in compliance with the government and the tax stuff. And now you're forced to add on a job. It's not like, oh, someone said they're saving up for a trip and they're going to work this night job. And I was like, can I get a job there too? And he looked at me funny. And I was like, I'm not kidding. You're working all night, all day. I need a job just to pay rent, not because I want to go on vacation. But I've never in my life said, oh, I'm going to get this part-time job or seasonal job so I can save up to go to Hawaii. Like, that would be fun. But when the price of living goes up and I'm a single mom and no one helps and kids get hungry and this clothes get outgrown and you're just like, I gotta work those additional jobs just to do the bare minimum. And it's like, And I'm walking around, holes in my clothes, my bras were like all the backs were completely raggedy, and like you have like pants falling apart while you're at work, and it gets to a point where you're just like wearing rags. Like you're getting paid and you have a dress code, but you pay doesn't pay for you to get enough money to buy your uniform. And so my kid was buying my uniform all the time. This is stupid. Trying to do half off day at the Goodwill to get my uniform and stuff, and it just makes me mad that I can't even pay $20 for a shirt or $10 for a pack of socks or $60 for a pair of shoes that I need it for the job that color, and it's just like $30 for a pair of shoes. It's just like why am I even like people say I'm too busy and all this stuff like, oh my god, I'm sitting around so much at home procrastinating doing nothing. I'm only working outside the house like 6 hours a day. Like that's less than someone who's at 8 or 9 hours a day. Like I have time at night to go out and do stuff. What do? I watch cop shows on TV and play solitaire and read stacks of library books. Like I have time. I have a few hours every day that I have time to socialize, and it's really lonely having to sit and play solitaire and watch cop shows. I did spend, people are like, you're too busy, you work too much, you have kids. I did spend a lot of time in medical school where I wasn't that available, but I had a lot of breaks, like 3 weeks off and stuff, and weekends off sometimes. And when my kids were little, I did do a lot of attention to the kids, going to park every day, going to music lessons every weekend, doing the art classes and the other music shows and the workshops and the camps and all this stuff. Um, but at the same time, one of my kids like, come on, mom, get yourself out there. You need a date. And we did have daycare. We did have stuff that I went to for church or for um, kids night at school. Like we still went out as a family, and just we were used to going out, just kids night at school or church nights or women's night. Finding a babysitter for women's night, I could have found the same babysitter to go out on date nights and or hang out um, because my schedule was student schedule. You have days where you have a couple hours in the afternoon free. You could do lunch date with someone or coffee date at 3 with somebody. Um, but everyone tried to tell me, my doctors, my pastors, you're too busy. Someone's gonna molest your kids. It's like it doesn't matter if they're 21 or 12. If there's a pervert you're dating, they're gonna try to molest your kid. It's like you need to find the right person. And people said you're too busy. Wait till you're a physician. Well, now I'm a physician and I have 7 jobs because that now my life is more complicated. But the thing is, I feel, especially this weekend, I felt this like joy with who I am and what I do and how I like going out to my jobs and meeting people and smiling. The only problem I have now is severe fatigue and like burnout from never having days off. And that's a problem, but I was supposed to schedule some time off in the summer and it just went so fast and something happened and it changed. One person at the pizza Hut, the other cook was going to cover me, and then someone else came in and I was just like, oh crap, this guy, like, one guy really wanted to work and make money and the other guy didn't, and then they were cutting like everyone's out. Like it stopped. Like I already talked to the guy and I was gonna like maybe take like 3 days off so he can cover me and save up before school started. And it didn't work out because the management changed some stuff around and it sucked. So now I don't have that opportunity. But I also don't feel well, and I also am coming up on my birthday, so I'm like, what if I just plan it right now and just throw down like the middle of October? I'm taking like 7 days off. I don't care. Um, we even with the price of it, like that's the problem. The price. Say you were paying $2,000 a month for housing, and you're like you save like 4,000. Okay, I can take 2 weeks off and still have more than enough to pay my rent. But as soon as you have that idea in your head, you get $500 that you need to tack on to the housing costs. So you could still do it because you have 3 times that amount or 2 times that amount. But now it's getting to be like your emergency fund is kind of getting tapped in. Like you had an allotment of 2,000, not 2,500. So then you're trying to think, can I work extra? Like that happened to my daughter. She took a couple of days off last year, and then they doubled her schedule for the next week. And you're like, that's not relaxing. Like you need to take time off. She didn't get any holiday pay or anything. You need to take time off, get paid. and then do your regular shift so you can rejuvenate, not be more overwhelmed than you were on the first day. She never did it again. And I remember that because that happens to me when I take a day off of my work. They double, like, give me a 12-hour shift or something. I'm just like they just make the same job instead of giving it to someone else. That's worse than having just worked that day. Peace, guys. Long video. I'm so embarrassed, but this is experimental. Peace.